about landing pages, conversion rate optimization, and what we can do as marketers, not being web developers, not being necessarily UX professionals, what we can do to still build high converting landing pages. And it's very possible. So Stephen, thanks for giving the intro. So this presentation is going to be about 45 minutes of me talking about myself and my background, and then we'll try to get in 5 or 10 minutes of content. Of course, I'm kidding. Just really quickly about me, 15 years of online marketing. I've always been more focused on the lead generation side of things. I was in-house marketing director at Samsung Mobile, at Tatcha, at Razorfish. I worked with some really cool brands like Apple, Microsoft, and others. And then a couple of years ago, I decided that I would start my own agency. So that's how I got to Upgrow. And so a question for everyone: what is the single most impactful change you could make to improve your PPC or really any digital marketing program? And hopefully you can probably guess this based on the topic of the discussion, but it would be your landing page. And let's just look at the math on that. So a question would be, is it easier to double your traffic or double your conversion rate? Going from a 2 to 4% conversion rate is highly possible. We've definitely made changes for clients or made changes on pages that can achieve a lot more than that. But then going from 5,000 to 10,000 visitors is either very expensive, you need to double your marketing budget, or you need to, make some massive SEO improvement, or just make some incredible optimization to get from 5,000 to 10,000 visitors. But if you look at the end result, it would be the same in either situation. Math. So what's the secret to a high converting landing page? The ability to build, test, and optimize the full funnel gives a marketer more control over performance. I really felt this like when I was at Samsung or was working on bigger accounts at Razorfish. You would kind of deliver the traffic, and then maybe you have a web developer or web designer building the page, but they don't really have the marketing understanding that we would as marketers. So copy, feeling, and then if you want a large number of landing pages, you're really at the mercy of a web designer to create all those landing pages for you. So if you have, say, a keyword that's very specific, and it should drive to content very related to that keyword, unless you can get a designer to build that for you, you're just kind of out of luck. So as a marketer, the ability to create a large number of good-looking, high-converting landing pages is incredibly powerful. And with modern software like Unbounce or Instapage, it's very possible. So historically, as digital marketers, we had a lot of control over the lead generation, the top of the funnel. We could drive clicks and possibly even leads, but we didn't have as much control over interest, decision, or action. And if we add landing page capabilities to our skill set, we can go much further in this funnel and make a much bigger impact for our brands, for our clients, and for our team. So now I've hopefully hyped you up a little bit, got you excited about the importance of conversion rate optimization in landing pages. Let's look at the elements of a high performance landing page. So this is a good formula. Something to keep in mind, visually, when people get to a new site, their eyes go in a Z pattern. So if you look at this screenshot I have for speechsisters.com, which is a really well-designed and laid out and written website, you can see they've got the call to action in the top right, the gray button, and then the eyes go back and down to the left and then back and across. So you want to put your call to actions like in that Z pattern. That's why you want to get one in the top right corner, and then again, either in the middle or in the left side of the page. So keep that in mind when you're placing your call to actions. And if you haven't got a call to action, you definitely do want to have a call to action. Call to action is basically a button that is guiding a user for what you want them to do next. In this case, it's find a course. And then I like to have a softer call to action. So there's a hard call to action, which is basically like the buy now. And then the softer call to action is like to learn more. So you want to make it easy for them to buy, but if they're not ready to take the next step right away, then you've got a place for them to get more information. They should immediately understand the business when they get to your landing page. I've got a couple of examples we'll go through in a couple of slides to show you good and bad landing pages, but you really, we come across so many clients and just so many websites where you get so in the business. Obviously, you know what your business does, but try to take a step back and think, okay, if I woke up from a coma, if I washed up on a beach and there was a laptop placed in front of me, would I understand what the business on the screen does? And if they can't within 5 seconds, you really need to think about the messaging and the imagery. You also want to illustrate customer benefits, not company achievements. This is a common mistake I see, where companies are so proud that they've been in business for 35 years or they've won these awards and they have these logos. It's good to add some stuff for credibility and show that you're an established and accomplished business. But the main thing that you want to highlight are the benefits to the customers, because that's really what they're much more interested in than your achievements. So try to think through, what are they looking for? Why did they come to you? There's a problem that they have that they're looking at a business like yours to solve. So what benefits do you offer them to solve that problem? And then this is super important, the problem solution results paragraph. And I'll show you a couple of examples on other sites, but let's take a look at their site right now. So a couple of the things I pointed out, yes, the buttons and the Z pattern, and then you've got a super clear, what do they do? Obviously, they teach children to talk. It's online courses, language courses for parents. So really clear what they do. The visual, the graphic, the mother and the child, very clear. It's not like a logo or a building or an abstract pattern or color. And then they go into this paragraph. In the paragraph, you want to be very thoughtful. Like I've written one on my website. It probably took me 2 or 3 hours to write 3 sentences because I'm so thoughtful with each word, and I think it's worth it in the long run. So the paragraph should have, what is the problem? What is the solution that you offer? And what will life be like after you solve their problem? So in this situation, this brand, you don't have to guess when it comes to helping your child communicate. The problem is, your child can't talk yet. We want you to know that what you're doing is working and what to do next. And they kind of provide like, hey, we have the solution of what to do next. Here's all the things that will resolve your problem. And then they help you to visualize it. Like, imagine, what will it be like when your child's talking? You don't have to feel like, your child's not progressing. There's a lot of emotional stress with that. So they did a nice job setting up, what's the problem? The kid can't talk. What's the solution? This course. And what is life like afterwards? Your kid's talking. So let's come back into the preset. It's very simple and scannable. You notice on this site and the other sites I'll show you later, there's not big walls of text. That they get to that later. If you're looking to do a lot of reading and a lot of research, there's a place and a page for that. Maybe it's even further down on this page, but people don't, it's not like they're picking up a book to read. They're scanning. They want to validate that what you offer is going to be the solution for them before they invest in reading every single word on the site. And I think we can all agree that when we get to a website, we don't just start reading from the top all the way to the bottom. So you want to keep it very simple and scannable so people can find sections of the page that appeal to them. You want to have a clear next step. That's the call to action. You know, what do you do next? I'm like, okay, this all looks good to me. What do I do? You find a course. So that's clear on this page. Builds trust immediately. This is where, you know, I don't see it on this page, but on the other examples, we'll see it. Some common ways to build trust are testimonials, number of clients served, like we've served 1 billion clients. You can definitely trust us. Or review stars, things that can quickly, within a second, tell the prospect that you're a legitimate company, they can trust you, you've done this before. All of that you want to convey with logos or stars or testimonials. Think benefits, not features. What is the benefit to the user, not what is the feature that your brand does. So for example, you know, benefit could be, we have 400 horsepower engine. The feature, the benefit to that would be like, you know, the car goes really fast. It goes from 0 to 60. So try to think more benefits. It's easier for a user to visualize like why they would want your product for the benefit over the feature. Fast, simple steps. A lot of sites have, you know, step 1, step 2, step 3. This site does as well, and we'll also see that on the other sites to look at. And so here's some ways to supercharge your landing page. Unbounce is the landing page designer that we really like. I highly recommend it. It makes it super simple to build these landing pages, and you can start with a template. They have a template for almost every industry and category. So it's quick, easy, drag and drop editor. It also integrates with CRMs. So if you're using HubSpot or Salesforce, any lead that comes in through the page can go straight into your sales platform. You've got ongoing testing of offers, design, and messaging. So when you build on a landing page builder, you don't have to have the developer build 2 versions of the page and then try to figure out how to split test them. You can do it very easily with a platform like Unbounce and then just distribute the traffic, you know, 50-50 and see which one performs better. And you can test everything from images, offers, text, all of that can be tested. Create a landing page for each major keyword audience group. So this is really the key. I see so many advertisers, they drive everything to the same page, or they just take everything to the home page. So let's say our agency, for example, we offer SEO services, and then we offer Google Ads services. So I can't communicate all of that on one page concisely. So I'd rather create, you know, 2 versions of the landing page, one about SEO and one about Google Ads. And more specifically, maybe I do SEO for the B2B tech industry. I've got a landing page for that too. So from a user's perspective, they're like, oh, this agency does exactly what I need. I don't have to read down, you know, I don't have to scroll 3 times to see the section where they talk about B2B tech marketing with SEO. It's right at the top. The whole page is dedicated to it. So creating these different versions that are highly relevant to the keyword, if it's Google Ads, or the audience, if you're driving them in from LinkedIn or Facebook, is super important. And that will also help with your quality score. So Google Ads, quality score is important. It'll dictate what you pay cost per click. So when you build a landing page that's fully dedicated to the keyword, you've got a much higher quality score. Use dynamic content to match search keywords exactly. So a platform like Unbounce has a feature called dynamic content. Basically, whatever keyword the user used, that will be like the headline, or that keyword will be injected into the landing page. which further improves your quality score. It makes the page more relevant. Upsell on the thank you page. I see so many marketers, you say you sign up for an ebook, you sign up for the ebook, you've given your email address, you get a landing page. It just says, thanks for signing up, here's your ebook, or thanks for signing up, we'll email you your ebook. They have momentum, right? At that point, they've given you their email address, they're raising their hand like, I'm interested in you. Why would you hit them with a brick wall that just is a thank you page? So I've got some screenshots of a funnel that we use for our agency. The first step is, hey, get access to this video case study. We'll show you how we help the client to increase leads by 775% in 3 months. And so as soon as you fill out the form, yes, of course, you get the video and it auto plays, but it says, hey, this is step 1. You get the video. Let's go ahead and give you step 2, which is to schedule your call. So you don't waste any time. You keep their momentum going. Otherwise, they leave and maybe you retarget them and maybe you can eventually get them back on the site. But why not just do it straight away? So let's look at some examples. So these are some bad landing pages, a B2C example. Hate to call people out, but this is, you know, it just looks like it was made in a long time ago in the 90s, maybe. Everything is about price too. You've got the cent sign literally in the logo. The mobile version of this page is even worse. And it doesn't like have a brand identity. You're just shopping kind of the lowest price. It's not even really clear what services they offer or why I should choose them over their competitors. And then the design just doesn't add a lot of trust. I guess they have the B2B accreditation, which is helpful, I guess, but just kind of an ugly, poorly designed page. Come back here. B2B example, funny enough, this is actually a relative of mine's company. And I've been begging him to invest in a new website. But so basically, when you get to the page, it's like, what do they do? You can't really tell what kind of company they are. And based on their logo, it's like, okay, are they a real estate or a development firm? But it's actually a pretty cool company. They build these blocks out of dirt, so you can turn dirt into buildings. And then there's no call to action. So if I want to engage with them, I'm really confused about what the next step is. I'd probably have to, you know, go to 3 or 4 pages to find like a phone number or a form to fill out. If there's other competitors, I don't see like how they're different. And this is a super legitimate company. Like they've been featured on TV shows. They're doing millions of dollars in revenue despite their website. So it's not like they're a tiny startup. Let's come back here. This nonprofit example. So you might think like, okay, yeah, I clicked on the donate button, then I come to this landing page, but actually their Google Ads program, I Googled donate Africa, which is funny because they don't even have anything to do with Africa. So they probably need also help with their Google Ads keyword list. But this is the landing page that it pointed to. So to me, I feel like, whoa, that's kind of aggressive. I just learned about you and you already want me to donate. So they've got like, you know, it's easy to donate. And if I had Googled like donate to Starlight, sure, this would be an appropriate landing page. But based on the keyword that I was looking for, I need a lot more education. Also the graphic, ideally, if they built a landing page for like an Africa program, they'd have maybe a picture of Africa or a person that's African, and then kind of the benefits of why it's important that you donate to them to support Africa. But in this case, I'd be super confused and I would bounce immediately, which is probably what a lot of their people are doing. So now that you've thrown up on those pages, let's look at some good pages. This is a page we recently built for a credit card client called Open Sky. And just for context, this landing page is used, basically somebody goes to Credit Karma and they're shopping for credit cards. And if you have a poor credit score, then then Credit Karma will say, hey, you don't have a good credit score, you can't get one of our credit cards. But why don't you check out one of these other secured credit cards? And a secured card is, just to explain it, is basically pre-funded. So you're not really getting credit. It's kind of more like a pre-funded debit card, but you're building credit as you use it. So with that context, the person is probably feeling kind of rejected. They just got told that they have poor credit and they need to go get this other kind of less ideal card. So the messaging is very intentional, like, hey, it's okay. We know you just got rejected, but you're about to get approved. So then that hopefully will make you feel better. It's very clear what it is, right? You got a picture of a credit card. We've got the hard and the soft offer. We've got the Z pattern, so the apply now. And then the soft offer, because most people are probably familiar with what a secured card is, we built this nice 1-minute video that'll explain what it is that you can watch and figure it out. Then we've got the paragraph that's the problem, the solution, and the release. The 3 fast, simple steps. Everyone loves 3 fast, simple steps. Again, another call to action. The video again. And then more credibility with the review stars, the 23,000 Facebook fans. And what you'll notice is there's some things that we don't have, right? So there's no header navigation. That's really important. Header navigations can lead people on wild goose chases when they're reading your blog. They're just navigating all throughout the site. They're reading your About Us page and they forget to ever apply. So when you give them kind of a tonal vision, so it's like, hey, apply now, watch the 1-minute video, that should be enough to get you started. So we find that typically stripping away header navigation on a landing page is more effective. And yeah, this is a Unbounce page. Another good example, Bright Machines. This is a B2B example. Bright Machines builds these machines that can basically kind of replace a assembly line. So if you're building electronics and you're soldering together laptops or audio equipment, you might invest in a Bright Machines product. So basically, this landing page is what we built. You've got a super clear headline. What do? They automate electronic manufacturing. And this is actually dynamic text. So if the person Googles for audio electronic manufacturing, this headline will change and it will say automate audio electronics manufacturing or automate laptop electronics manufacturing. So this is dynamic. It makes it feel super relevant. And then the user's like, oh, damn, I was looking for audio electronic manufacturing. This is exactly what I wanted. I'm going to get the product sheet right now. Same thing. I mean, if you look at the Unbounce landing pages, you're like, man, these guys they consistently use the exact same formulas. That's because it works. It works really well. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. Also, people's minds are very familiar with the way a website should look. We've had clients that want to say, put the navigation on the left side of the screen instead of along the top, or do some kind of crazy, innovative type design. And typically it doesn't work as well just because people don't want to spend time trying to figure out your abstract design. Then we've got the paragraph, the problem, solution, result. Quickly summarize. This is important when you have a more complex product. You need to give a bit more information. So all the things that the product can do. Credibility builders like case studies are nice. Just kind of explain quickly the 3 kind of quick steps, how it works. And then again, the form. And what you'll notice is if I filled out this form, yeah, I get the product sheet, but then it says, thanks for filling out the form. Here's your product sheet. Why don't you go ahead and book a sales meeting right now? So that follows our same formula. And finally, TechSoup. Not a client of Upgrow, but I did like their landing page. So really nice. If you're TechSoup does tech support for nonprofits, and you can figure that out within 5 seconds, I think. So the title makes that really clear. You've got the free assessment, call to action, and then really clear what they do, really concise. So nice work, TechSoup. So what's really simple with Unbounce is you can test any and everything. Very simple. You can test headline, the copy, the order of the elements, the design, what the offer is, whether it's like a webinar or an ebook. You can try different images, different videos. This is just one example of 2 different landing pages we had. In one, we tried to focus them on signing up for the trial of TeamPay. On another one, we added the video to see if that would be helpful. And so that's just 2 versions to see which would work better. Other things you can consider, live chat is, we've added it to the Upgrow site. It doesn't get a whole lot of use. We might get 1 chat a week, but other clients we've added live chat to. It has a huge impact. Calendar booking tool. This is key. Like, I highly recommend this. If you go to the Upgrow site, you'll notice that we have this calendar booking tool. So instead of filling out a contact form, kind of giving me your name, email, and then I email or call you later to try to schedule an appointment, let's just get it all done at once. It's integrated with my Google Calendar, so it's going to only show you times that I'm available. And I found that the show rate when somebody books through the calendar booking tool is about twice as high because they've selected the time, and this is all integrated with HubSpot. So they get a text reminder an hour before our meeting. It says like, hey, you've got the meeting coming up, don't forget. Yeah, a link to so if you go to upgrow.io, you can find our contact us page, but this is just the calendar booking tool from HubSpot. So if you're using HubSpot, you can get this. I think they even have a free version. It might have a HubSpot branding on it, but you can get it. Calendly also makes a free one as well as a paid one. It's like $10 a month. So the calendar booking tools are really nice. They improve your show rate and they make it simple for you and the prospect. Quizzes can be effective. This is one that BrightEdge did. It's an SEO software. People like quizzes. They get engaged with it. So a lot of them will be like they ask you 10 questions, but then if you want to actually see the results, you have to give up your email address. Usually if people are that committed already, then they'll give it up. Slide-ins, I prefer slide-ins over the pop-ups. So you might have seen this. We had this on the Upgrow site. If you want to see an example, our client TwistLock also has it. So instead of blocking the page and preventing you from navigating, it just slides up in the corner. And this should be relevant to the page. So say they're on the Upgrow SEO page, ideally they get an offer for like, hey, here's our SEO guide. So the pop-up can be relevant to the content that they're viewing. Now, the one caveat to the pop-up that I do like, and we actually have it on our site and a lot of our client sites, is the exit intent pop-up. Basically, if you're moving your mouse to back out of the browser or close the browser, then you get the pop-up. So it's sort of like a desperation, hey, you're leaving anyway, so why not hit you with a pop-up? And you'd be surprised, probably like 4% of people will enter their email address in the exit pop-up. Yeah, Calendly is also a good calendar booking tool. Case study. So basically, this is a B2B tech client that we had. We moved them from just driving to their standard websites, from their homepage to their service pages, and started pointing all of their traffic to the landing pages that we were building on Unbounce. Before, they had a 4% conversion rate. And then you can see on this trend line, like almost immediately, within 2 weeks, they had a 300% improvement in conversion rates. So went from 4% to 12% without any additional cost other than the design of the landing pages. So it works. Now, you want to, of course, set up tracking and analytics. I always recommend setting everything up through Google Tag Manager. Yeah, the B2B tech client, it was Team Pay. I had the graphic in a couple of slides earlier, but yeah, that was Team Pay. So we built these landing pages, and we started using these and testing them against their homepage and their other service pages. That's where we saw the big gain. So Google Tag Manager is basically kind of like a container where they can host all of your pixels and tracking. Google Tag Manager, think of it as kind of like a portal into your website. And so you can place all of your pixels and tags into Tag Manager without risking to break your website, and also without bugging your developer. So once your developer or you, if you're fairly tech savvy, installs Tag Manager, very simple for you to add pixels or tracking or tag things. And also it's free. Google Tag Manager, completely free. I've got a YouTube video showing how to install Tag Manager, as well as put Google Analytics in it that I could share, but it's on YouTube. Install Google Analytics. Hopefully, most of us probably have Google Analytics already, but I think it would be nice to, if you want to add it through Tag Manager. And then you want to add your ad platform pixels. If you're running Facebook ads, your Facebook pixel, LinkedIn ad, your LinkedIn pixel, Google Ads pixel, and so on. It can all be placed in Tag Manager. Supermetrics is a third-party data integration provider. And the reason that you need them is when you're using Google Data Studio, you can integrate Data Studio. It's sort of like a dashboard for everything. So you don't have to go log into LinkedIn and log into Google Analytics and log into HubSpot and log into Salesforce, log into Google Ads, export everything, do some Excel wizardry, and then make a report when you have 4 hours to do that. Instead, Data Studio, it automates everything. All of your data and reporting is in real time. But to access some of those integrations, you need a platform like Supermetrics. So Supermetrics can pull data from LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, HubSpot, etc., and put it all into Data Studio. So that's your stack. Some bonus tips. So a couple of ideas. This can be really effective pre-warming the traffic. I think a couple of years ago, I was seeing a lot of these ads from American Giant, the greatest hoodie ever. And what their ad would point to would not be the American Giant website. Instead, they take you to this Slate article, which was probably paid PR, but it looks organic. And basically you'd be like, oh, like Slate says this hoodie's awesome. That's more credible than American Giant saying their own hoodie's awesome. So you basically pre-warm them by taking them to presumably an unbiased PR site that then leads to your brand site. So within this article, I'm sure it links to the American Giant site. So that would be one idea to pre-warm your audience. Yeah, I'll find that YouTube video and send it out afterwards for sure. Why it works, users are warmed, they're build trust, especially if they know Slate. A third party saying that you're awesome is way more impactful than you saying that you're awesome. So how it would work, maybe email Slate, say, hey, would you mind reviewing our hoodie? Add a prominent and tracked link from their positive article to your landing page, because you want to be able to track and see, is it worth the additional cost of driving there, or would we be better to just point to our own page, and then you can figure that out. But we did a test for a client and found that pre-warming the traffic led to a 40% higher conversion rate. It's actually a beauty product. It was a skincare product, and it was driving to a beauty blogger. She had done a review on it, and people trusted her. So that had a very positive impact. Another idea is using Heatmaps. Heatmaps, you can use Hotjar. Hotjar.com is also free up to a certain level. I think 10,000 page views a month is free. So unless you have a really big site, it is free. It has a couple of cool features. You get a screen like this on your site, so you can see where people are clicking with the heat map. And then it also does screen recordings. So you can see a person's mouse moving around on the screen of your website. And usually you can figure out like where they're feeling lost or where they're getting confused. Cool. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to leave a link here to some free resources we have on our site, upgrow.io/free. You can grab this Google Data Studio template that we have. You just need to copy the template, connect your data, so you'll integrate it with your Google Analytics and other sources, and then you get a nice dashboard like this to view your website's data. Thank you so much. Glad to take some questions if we want to go that way.